So, my brother, I'm really upset and I'm not happy about this dating app that you guys have been trying to convince me to be on. No success, no smiles, no bagels for me.
No bagels, huh?
No bagels this time. But you know what?
What's up?
We've got a guest tonight that both of them have had some success. Both of them are, well, let's let them tell you the story. What do you think about that?
I hope they change your mind.
Bueno, muy gente bonita, it's another episode of Abiertos. We're having fun tonight. And you know what? The best part about it is maybe there is some hope. Maybe there is some hope to do this whole thing that you guys are talking about with the dating apps and swiping left, swiping right, going up, going down. What the hell is a bagel? Like, seriously? I don't get it. But before I get on going and I keep on doing my thing, my co-host is alive. Look at him. Look at him. He's alive. He survived. Okay,
Bagels,
not bring it.
bagels are nice. Bagels go with coffee. Just depending on you're having your coffee or what's on your bagel. Get it? Hey, what's up, everybody? The voice of power, MC Bacon here on this beautiful evening. It's 2025. We're in the month of February. What is love? Yeah, come on.
Yeah, but apparently it's been hurting me.
So hopefully it doesn't hurt you no more. Get it? Yeah.
We'll see about that. But you know what? We've got a couple here that's not hurting no more. He's definitely not hurting him no more, especially the way he talks about her. And the best part is they've got a success story about dating apps. They've had success. So instead of me bambling on and going off, let's ask him a couple of questions to bring both Vivian and Jeff in. Jeff is the host of Garden of Doom.
How's it
Jeff,
going?
how are you? Buenas
Good.
noches. ¿Cómo estás?
Yeah. So thanks for having us both on the show.
Hello. How you doing?
Hello,
Definitely a
everybody.
pleasure to have you guys here.
Yeah, pleasure is ours. We met online, meaning us, you with your show,
Correct.
and you were looking for stories, and I'm like, well, mine's Dickensian. It started like Pandora's box. You opened it up, and like all of the horrors that were unleashed upon the world, including me. I was one of the horrors unleashed upon the world. But in the end, the last sound that came out of that jar, because it really is a jar, it's not a box, was hope. And there she is.
There you go. Look, see what did I tell you? What did I tell you? He talks about it. Look, like, I mean, how can you go wrong in life when you're able to?
Hey, man, that's how it works.
Yep, he's muted. He muted himself.
Are we back now?
That's right. You made a beautiful speech and you muted yourself.
He was mesmerized by your speech so much that he was speechless. Look at that. His mic even turned off on him.
Yeah, that's all right. So yeah,
no, it's the way he talks about it and the way.
Well, I mean, look at her. She's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's beautiful on the outside. More importantly, she's beautiful on the inside. She is with this. So, I mean, whatever old gods are new or old devils are new you believe in, clearly I made some sort of deal with them because, here we are live and in color. So, yeah, I mean, ask away. Probably the funniest part of it is that she claims that she wasn't on a dating app. She was on OkCupid, but she says she didn't know that it was a dating app. She thought she was just there to make friends, even though it's Cupid.
That is my English.
You can tell them. I mean, you're on the show too. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's you.
Okay, to practice her English. So this was, I don't know, 9 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and maybe she didn't know what Cupid meant. Maybe she didn't know the translation of Cupid. People told her to go on it. Now, OK Cupid, my experience with OK. So I was on 4 dating apps. I was on OK Cupid, Tinder, Bumble, and Plenty of Fish. I don't know if they all exist any longer. I don't know if they're in the same iterations that they were. My understanding is that Tinder changed radically from the time it started to the time I got on it, and probably since then 7 times. But out of all of them, OK Cupid was the most useless to me. It had gone to the point where it was actually a net negative in that it was like all waste of time. And then I see like this icon. It's just an eye, in a circle, and the rest is a black screen, almost like a James Bond, sort of thing. And I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting eye. I don't. I'm trying to guess who is she Egyptian? Is she Persian? What's going on here? Is she probably a fatty? I mean, you get catfish a lot on dating apps. So we're chatting away, and this is 9 years ago. Her English is much better now. If she'll speak, you'd hear it. But back then, people always ask, how did it work when she barely spoke any English and you don't speak any Spanish? I always say that's the only way it could work. I mean, if you think about it, that's the only reason it does make sense. So exactly. So I coordinated so she wanted me, and I'm like, I don't want any friends. I'm not, I certainly don't want any friends 45 minutes away to an hour away. And she's like, no. And she's such a happy little thing. And, I'm assuming a happy little thing. She seemed like a happy little thing the way she typed. You can gather something. So I arranged to meet her on an afternoon, but I planned a date that night with somebody in the same zip code. So I met her, and of course, just like now, she kept me waiting and was late and was running out of her apartment building. And she comes out, and she's like in these little Peg Bundy leopard tights. And she's coming out, and she's like going like this to me. Wait. I'm like, yeah, that's her. I'm like, okay, well, still not sure. Persian, Egyptian, Latina, Armenian, but Turkmenistani can be, anything. And I'm like, but not a fatty. I said, in fact, she's not ugly. She's pretty cute. I'm like, this might be okay. And so then we got to talking, and we somehow we got along, and we arranged to have another date. And that was my first impression. But why don't you tell them what you remember?
Hello everybody again, and thank you for having us. I used to living with my ex-roommate, and she is an African American lady, and having a lot of friends because she loved like paints, doing portraits, and having around where we was living next to Washington DC, and like everybody gives me that suggestion for make friends, and I didn't thinking on the first time in having any relationship because just I broke up with my ex. and then they say I had to take this OK Cupid. One friend, now she's living. I don't know what state, but she was suggesting me and say, this is the best way you can make friends and practice English. This is what I told Jeff, and I once practiced my English because it was, until now, it's very broken, my English, but I'll try to do my best. And he was, in the beginning, like, no, he's so sweet, no, but he was like I say, maybe it's a bad word, creepy. It's called creepy.
Creepy, sure, it's great.
And then
who doesn't love to be called creepy by their wife?
And then,
What is love?
it was funny because yeah, and he
No.
invited me and to the dinner, and he say, and I know in the beginning it was like what he told you. He don't want to meet anybody so far where he's living, and he say, and after 2 weeks, and he start me send text messages, and he say, "Did you meet someone and can help you and meet the city?" I say no, but it was yes, a lot people, and
Line around the corner.
I coming downstairs, they coming and meet me and help me with my English. It's true. And
Every place we went, there was an awkward moment.
But they
There's
was-
some guy in there. They go Viv or V, and then they go. Then they say,
right. And they confuse Jeff with the old guy because he has the gray hair. And I having made a lot friends from United States, like from Turkey, from India, because just where I used to live, in front was a building, a lot guys, a lot from another countries, and they coming and working in this country, and they were so sweet. Invite me for the ice cream place, for walking around the town. But this one, once like like you are say something, sometimes like this one, go to the dinner. One day he asking me to go sleep in the hotel. It was, I told him no, because I live in here, the hotel is in the corner. Go ahead and you can sleep in the hotel. I say no, why?
I said,
He was like so fast.
No, she didn't go like what? She knew why. She goes, she yells at me in the middle. She goes, Jeff, do you want to have sex with me? And I said, of course I do. So this is my first piece of advice. Should I call you Mendez? Because that's all it says there.
Sure.
Okay. Complete and utter honesty. That was my entire strategy. So when I first went onto the dating apps, it was not voluntarily. It's actually, so we're both divorced. Neither one of us is a kid. She just looks like a kid, but neither one of us is a kid. Folks, this is 50. So and listen, she came this way, but before I made the deal with Enki and Enlil. So don't blame the Sumerians. So this is all Andean magic over here. Well, according to Ancestry and me, it can be from about 52 different places. By the way, I'm still mad at those people. We did the DNA. It was like a Father's Day 2-for-1 special. Mine says 100% European, not like 11% this country, 15% this country. Like, duh, I know. I mean, you're always hoping that like maybe there'll be a couple of things that are exotic based on what you are and what you think you aren't. And we're all hoping for that. Hers was. She had Benin, she had Sardinia, she had Portugal, Spain, Ireland, Scotland, North American Native Americans. She had 2 different kinds of South American Native American, like one Colombian, one South Andean, Morocco, right? Everything. Wow. I mean, clearly she comes from 5,000 years of hotties that were queens and taken all over, all over the world, in various ways, Vikings and such. So then they say, hey, we have an enhanced version for you. I said, fine. So I just click on it, and it just made those circles smaller, and it still said 100% European. It just like took out Scandinavia and like Britain and France and the most southern parts of like Greece and Italy. It's like, yeah, no S, guys. Thanks a lot. But hers was interesting. Anyway, I digress. So after I separated from my wife, I was with someone else, and we were together for a while. And then when we broke up, it's like, when people say, I don't want to date anyone ever again. And I've never once believed a single person who said that. Well, that was me, but it was true. I didn't want to. And maybe those people are telling the truth also. But so actually my then ex said, no, you need to get out there and date. I'm like, fine, whatever. You set it up for me. So she set it up for me. She approve the pictures I selected or disprove some of them and put it out there. And then I start swiping. And like, right away I'm getting hits. I'm like, oh, this is fun. And she's like, see? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, all right, thanks. See you. Bye-bye. And left. And, and it was very much you guys watch wrestling?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You know how like Liv Morgan had her revenge tour?
Mm-hmm.
I had my revenge tour. So, and they know what it means. It was the good, the bad, and the ugly. It was just putting notches in my lipstick case, or scratches in my bandolier. I wasn't interested in quality. I was just interested in quantity. Wasn't looking for a wifey. I was just looking to get whatever mojo, some sort of mojo back, and whatever it was. And like I said, I was pretty much ready to give up on OkCupid. And then I met, and in her, it said Nydia. So Nydia is why I thought, Near Eastern, because that didn't, if she said, Graciela, Maria, or Teresa, whatever, but Nydia took me there. And then we met. So yeah, I bet what she told you was an edited version of the true story. I gave you the full story at the end because it's even more embarrassing for myself, but it was complete and utter honesty. I didn't hold back why my marriage broke up. I didn't hold back anything. To this day, most of her life is still a mystery to me, though.
Yes, but one night we was walking on. It was in Washington D.C. because my friends they was coming from Florida, from Miami, and visit me, and we went hang out. And I said, Jeff, coming and holding my hands like that and walking with me. I say, why you are holding my hands? Because he say it's supposed to be we went to the having a dinner, you are my girlfriend. I say no, you doesn't ask me for be your girlfriend. What happened with you? Because in my country it's like that, no? And he told he's my boyfriend already.
Would you mind if I ask her a question in Spanish?
No, please.
Viviana, disculpa. Con todo lo que has pasado, con toda tu experiencia, ¿cómo te sientes ahora de haber encontrado amor con él? Un compañero de vida, una pareja.
Me siento muy cómoda porque yo puedo ser yo misma. Entonces eso es muy importante en una relación. Sí. Porque si tú tienes que aparentar a ser a alguien que no eres, entonces no empieza a funcionar nada. Él siempre tiene estos pequeños detalles que hacen a una relación, porque no es porque ya te casaste, entonces la relación siempre va a funcionar. Tienes que trabajar día a día con esa relación. Entonces, para una mujer, como somos auditivas las mujeres, una palabra dulce, eso vale más que 1000 palabras, una acción dulce. Sí. Entonces él viene y me dice, ¿ves esa chica qué caliente que se ve? O viene y me coge las nalgas. Esos son detalles, ¿no? Entonces digo, uy, todavía le sigo gustando a él, ¿me entiende? Y como los hombres son visuales, entonces una mujer siempre tiene que estar bien arreglada, con el lápiz labial. Él se me sabe reír a veces porque dice, uy, te has puesto labial, ¿por qué tan temprano en la mañana? Porque eso me gusta a mí, pero también me pongo por él y tengo mi rutina de la mañana, mi rutina de la noche, pero siempre estoy oliendo bien, arreglada y todo lo demás. Y me siento cómoda, me siento en amor. Él es muy dulce, él es, aparte de que es sarcástico con los demás, conmigo, tal vez, que ahora ya le entiendo un poco el inglés, pero él me respeta, eso es en primer lugar, ¿verdad? Así él esté hablando tonterías, porque creo que la gente lo conoce como es, y es bueno, porque él también tiene su espacio, yo también tengo mi espacio, nos respetamos nuestros espacios y así funcionan las cosas, por eso creo que...
Es mejor de esa manera, tienes razón. You know, I just asked her how she feels about everything and how she feels having a life partner, and her response is amazing. It's something nowadays you don't see much and you don't hear much from women because of so much selfishness. She clearly turned around and says to me, that she gets ready for him. She prepares herself. Yes, she does love looking good and feeling good and smelling good, but she does it to keep him happy. She does it to make sure that he knows that she does it for him. And that
Well, that is lovely, except she's acting for TV right now. Because as long as I have known her, I always tell her, "What are you putting lipstick on? We haven't even had coffee yet." She's like,
that's
"I put
exactly
the
what
lipstick on for me." It's so. I mean, so well. And by the way, she got the story a little bit wrong. The holding of the hand thing happened the same night as the hotel, not in DC. Now it might have happened more than once. But she did say, "What are you doing? You don't have my permission. You didn't ask my permission." And so, I'm like, "Do I have to ask your father next?" She's like, "That would be a good idea." Now it probably happened again in DC as well, but I have to be honest. The night in DC, we were with a couple of her friends. One was from Miami, but she's also from Ecuador, and the other one was visiting her, and she was from Bolivia. So he was from Miami, and so we're in some club with like this group of dudes who are like much younger, two a little sketchy, and like inviting us over to their place. So I had to stay sober. So I'm the only one who was sober at that point because I'm like, no, we're not going to your place. Yeah, I see, but it'll be cool. I'm like, no, this is how you wake up in a bathtub with ice cubes and missing a kidney. Yeah, it's like it's not happening. I'm like, if I had like 3 or 4 of my guys with me, maybe so, but we're definitely not going with the 5 of you into your apartment. It's just across. I'm like, I don't care where it is. The fancier your apartment, the sketchier you are. I mean, they don't get that. That's who gets away with crime. I mean, so people who sell organs, for God's sake. So probably confusing that. But yeah, I mean, she does. She absolutely takes care of me way more than I expect, and every morning she brings me coffee. She asks me if I want something to eat. Half the time I say no. If I don't answer, she brings me something anyway. Like she'll cook like a breakfast sandwich. Like, I'm happy with the bagels. I heard what you guys were talking about. Bagel, cream cheese. That's fine. I'm a simple man. She'll do a bagel, cream cheese, but fry an egg on it with other cheese and some sort of meat or whatever. So yeah, she's during the day, I work from home. She is nursing an injury, so she's like, "So, you hungry?" If I say yes, then she makes me lunch. It's like, I don't need to ask. I don't ask. I wouldn't ask. I mean, I'm perfectly capable of feeding myself. Sure, it'd be cereal or peanut butter and jelly, but I can do it. But I don't need to. So yeah, she definitely puts me first, but the makeup and the getting herself presentable, that was a little bit of bullshit. She does that for her.
Bullshit.
A little bit of bullshit.
What?
Because you do it for you. Now listen.
No, what's this? I told him. I say I told Jeff I am doing for me. No, but I am doing for you.
Well, that's.
Es que yo le dije.
Well, those are two
yo
different
le digo
things.
A él que es solo por mí, pero es por él. Pero acerca de lo que él dice de que le traigo comida, it's because the Latinas, we are take care of men. We are so sweet. With one hand, with another, we are so hot. No, so tough, sorry. Sweet and tough.
Yeah, I've gotten in trouble for cheating on her in her dreams.
Right.
Oh, wow.
That's a Latina thing.
Yes.
That is a bad Latina issue.
She routinely has a dream. She's like, I had a dream about your ex-wife, and like she's mad at me about that. It's like if you only understood how much my ex-wife hates me. I mean, you'd realize the absurdity of the whole thing from her perspective, let alone mine. I mean, but it's.
No, only it was a dream. I respect your ex-wife, but.
I'm not saying you don't. I know, but you might get mad at me for like a good 20 minutes to 3 hours over your dream. Like it's one thing if I told you it was my dream, then I get it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Jeff, I feel your pain because I've lived this And it's very sad, but it is, like she said, it is a Latina thing. At
Yes,
least from my experience.
always he say the Latinas take care of his car. The Latinas take what else?
Well, early on, I got a meme sent to me by some friends, and of course, people said, "Hey, you live in the Jay Pritchard dream." You know, the Ed O'Neill character from Modern Family, who was married to Sofia Vergara, and right, hammer nail right there. So they would send me memes, and they go, "How do you know a Latina loves you? So, she cooks for you. She cleans your clothes. She tells you she loves you. She keys your car. She kills you." And
Always he say, "I will come."
well, you haven't keyed the car yet, not on purpose anyway that I'm aware of, but yeah, I mean, there's something, you know, comforting about knowing exactly how you're going to die.
Well, at least you know.
I do. Yeah, that's totally awesome. If I can ask you something, I'm gathering the energy from the both of you in your story. I have to ask, if in the time that you guys have been together, has there been anyone that ever, let's say, doubted you guys that you last this long? Because of how you guys met, and you shared how you met with other people, and they've looked at you and say, "Oh, they're not going to last," or, you know, it would never work because they met on a dating. Have you ever experienced that at any time in your relationship with Viviana?
He's asking if people thought that it wasn't going to work. Like, have you experienced that?
Everybody say it's not going to work in that old relationship. Like,
yeah,
all the time. Maybe they were so jealous because Jeff always he is very sweet, and you know, I don't think so. I thought on that part, on that way, it's not going to work. You know, I don't give chance to my brain thinking like on that way, but people tell me something.
There was a little sabotage, but mostly on her side, and a few people from my side, but to her, trying to sabotage it or question her. No one questioned it to me, but I mean, of course they did. I mean, we were, I remember it was New Year's Day, and we were at, I think it was H&M Warehouse. They were having some sale, and we were there because, well, that's a night I slept in the hotel by myself, and you know, I wasn't supposed to. Her roommate, you know, was sort of like almost like thought she was her mother at the time, and so you had to have permission to go upstairs, and so I needed to buy new clothes. So we're in the store, and you know, and these two guys are chatting her up, and I'm, you know, one other thing is like I aged out of like getting jealous most of the time. A little bit before that, I've had slips, but I sort of aged out of it for the most part. And I call her over. I'm like, "Do you like this shirt?" And like the two guys come over, and they're like, "Wait, you two are together?" I mean, complete strangers, and probably like 25 years old, and you know, all of a sudden I went straight into Batman at '89. I'm like, "What? You think she's too ugly for me?" and they were like, absolutely, they were so shocked. They're like, no, that's what I'm like, it's all right, I'm kidding. But I'm sure that was like the reaction to, you know, a lot of people. I think by the time they stopped having their doubts, it was already too late. Like it was already clear. Like we'd passed the test of time and all of that other swell stuff. And you know, and then, you know, I get the immigration jokes all the time. She became a citizen without me. I'm not her sponsor. We weren't married at the time. We've been together now almost 9 years, and you know, and we've been living together probably 7.5 of those years. So if she wanted to escape, she had plenty of time to do so.
Right.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Fair enough.
That's awesome.
All this being said, and with the success you guys have had, for somebody like myself that has been cornered into getting a dating app.
No one cornered you, bro. Sorry.
Really? You really want to go? Well, let's go back to
I just said Coffee Meets Bagel was an app out there. No one told you to sign up. You decided to do it on your own. No one has your head or a bagel for that matter,
Listen,
or your favorite coffee. That's it.
as my mother would say, when the guests leave, we're definitely going to make sure the chicken comes out the plate. So,
Excuse me.
what is your advice? What is your, from both of you? Like, how should I set up my account? What should I do to make things be more appealing? How should I approach all of this? Because I'm telling you, I'm not about this stuff. My partner here loves dating apps. He's on a couple of them. The other guest that we had on that night has tried everything, and apparently that's another story. But I'm not about this. I'm not about I'm very much meet you in person. Oh, you're walking in a mall, and I'm walking the mall. I'm coming to say hi. This is a different world we're in, and I've never done this, so I'm trying to get some advice from a successful couple like yourself.
My advice would be, I mean, you said it, it's a different one. I mean, listen, your partner there is one of the biggest DJs of the Toronto scene. A while, if he doesn't feel comfortable, like, sending single women your way, it's probably because there's a pretty good reason for it, and he's probably trying to protect you from certain things, and they're also probably too young. Like, part of the world is not serious enough, and part of the world is too serious. And you don't go to bars and meet people anymore. You can't date at work anymore because you'll get an HR complaint, as often as not. So this is safe. So all I would say is, whoever you are, don't try to disguise it. Lean into yourself on the app. Have the pictures represent you and what you like to do. Have them be, when they're going on a date, they know they're going on a date with you and not some representation of you 10 years ago. Or, if you don't have a corporate job, don't put yourself all in suits and ties, but it's okay to let people know you know how to dress once. But if you are all corporate during the week, then let them see that side of you, but also let them see the fun side of you. But have fun with it. Like, I don't mean this trivially, but treat it as a game, but it's real people. Like, don't be a shit, but it's for you. If something's not working, it's not working. I told everybody, I said, listen, I'm not even considering being exclusive with anyone until we're seeing each other at least 3 months. I would tell everyone that, on the second or third date, not the first, because you don't know if there's going to be a second date on the first date. That sounds silly to, start laying down the gauntlet like that. But
yeah,
complete and utter honesty. Sounds like bagel and coffee is sort of like you meet for breakfast or brunch. So that seems even, casual. I liked nighttime dates because if they went well, they could go well. And what I found is were plenty of people like me who were divorced or whatnot, and they really weren't looking for anything other than sort of a classy one night stand either. So, if nothing else, it builds some confidence, lets you know how to deal with different types of people. Maybe you've never dated someone for that part of town, or of this ethnicity, whatever, of that religion. You just get those experiences under your belt, and gives you a better understanding of people. But I would say have fun with it, but take it seriously, but not too seriously, but be yourself and sell yourself. I don't know what she has to say.
Okay, I think different now because it's on these times it's so dangerous. I see a lot case happen on the wrong way with some Latinas too. And when I meet Jeff online, I meet one guy in coming and meet me, and he told me, "Don't meet anybody in this app." It's so dangerous. He told me, "You are lucky you had meet me." I want to say you have to be so lucky meet someone can be the best woman for you.
Don't be hasty, because from her experience, the things that she was telling me, there's some dudes out there who are crazy, but not like crazy, like, well, they might be dangerous, I don't know, but like crazy, like they'd go on a couple dates with her and they'd be like, redecorating their entire house for her, like, you know, repainting and like, do you like these sheets? Do you like this? What
Yes.
color
You
curtains?
know, when I meet Jeff, I meet another guys, but they was like my friends, but they judge. They say, "Come in, judge. I buy a house. I want
I'm
you
going to
to
tell
help
the
me."
tech story.
They
So.
said it was like everybody wants to stay with me, and what Jeff did, I remember now. Jeff took my cell phone and start send to text messages to all the guys.
Hold
say,
on a second
"Do
here.
you want sex with me?" Jeff,
Hold on a
Jeff,
second here. No,
Soltó la sopa.
you get texts all the time from like these, and I would know these backstories about how they were like trying to redecorate their houses and buying new cars and buying new houses and making sure that she feng shuied approved it and all that. And she's like calling them her friends. I'm like, that's not what friends do. That's not what friends text. They're into you. They're like, no, they're my friends. I'm like, okay, let's make a bet. I will text all of them from your phone saying, hey, do you want to get together and have sex? And she's and she's like, go ahead. I mean, I didn't take it from her. She gave it to me and I typed it, and it was like 6 guys, and 6 for 6 within like 4 seconds. Yes. And then she didn't know what to this day. She's still like, they're my friends. No, I mean, okay, friends with the wanted benefits, but
can you imagine you want to send this text message?
Can you imagine you still say they're my friends?
Yeah, because we was friends.
Sure, you were.
To them thinking bad about me because you send these kind of questions.
No
more like talk with them, you know.
Needless to say, she still hasn't paid up on that bet. She never pays bets. I always pay my bets with her where I lose. She owes me $500 right now for something. I have no idea. I'll never see that money. I don't even remember what the bet is. It doesn't matter. But she lost it. But if I lose $20,
right away.
Look at her enjoying it.
I mean, it's the silliest thing. It's like, what's the difference to take $20 from me to you? It's like we're married. It's like it's the same trough. I mean, it's fair enough. It's like she once took like a bunch of money from my wallet. I'm like, gosh, I wish you'd ask me because I really wanted the money. It's not. So then she zealed it to me or something. I'm like, it's like, no. The point is I wanted to have cash in my wallet. It's like, I don't want you to pay me back. It's just I like to have cash, you know. I know it's sort of ancient, but I still like every now and then I'm going to go to like, you know, I get a coffee and a bagel. I'd like to just give them a $10 bill or whatever instead of, you know, putting everything on debit or a credit card or whatever. Those charges add up, you know.
They do. Oh boy, do they.
Definitely.
So yeah, so that was funny, and she still says that they're her friends. Meanwhile, I guarantee you, she's never taken this challenge, but I guarantee you, if you did that to any of my female friends, they'd all of them be like, "No, ew, what's wrong with you? Is this a trick?"
Yeah,
like the fa.
Yeah, I can see that. It's the way men look at females and the way females look at men is completely different.
Yeah, right.
And usually the male will take an opportunity whenever he can, and a female they tend to be a little bit more skeptical.
Yep.
As they should. And you know, the female friends that I have are also, I mean, we've lasted as long as friends because there is none of that, you know, and there hasn't been. So I mean that's, you know, part of it as well. But still, I mean, she won't take it up because then she would lose another bet. And probably cost me like, you know, 4 of my like 6 friends. So
wow.
Yeah, I unfortunately understand your pain on that one, sir.
What are you looking for? I mean, you know, are you looking for a relationship? Are you just looking to date? Are you just looking to have a social life? Are you looking for a wifey? I mean, what's your goals? Let's flip this around.
I like this.
Take over.
Well, he is the host of Garden of Doom.
NWO for life.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's right. Hit the
I love it.
There you go. So to be quite honest with you, I would love to have a wife. You know what? Yeah, when I was younger, ran around, did whatever. I'm divorced. I've had one fiance, which hindsight, you know, a lot of things happen. Life happens. But I've chosen for the past bit to, how everybody says heal yourself, fix the problems, and all that.
Mhm.
Well, I took the time for myself. And between Bacon and a couple of other my close friends, they're like, "You're gonna do something? It's been a while." And there's been a couple of people that have hinted at stuff. One of them's a little bit young, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe it is time. Maybe it is time for me to get out there and take advantage of what life has to give. And who knows? Who knows where the missus right for good is going to be there.
Absolutely. But the last tip I will give you is, despite whatever your instincts are, time, don't rush anything. Even if you think, don't rush anything, take your time. The easiest thing to do if you think you found Mrs. Right is to scare her off by being like 2 miles ahead of her.
Oh, for sure.
Now, apparently, she would never tell me that she felt strongly about me. So, when I eventually told her, ultimately, probably about 4 or 5 months into the relationship, she said that she did too. And I go, you do? She goes, of course, at the first kiss. I'm like, the first kiss? That was like Halloween weekend. I'm like, this is like, it's almost spring. You didn't tell me? She's like, of course not.
She made you work.
She did make me work. She made me, I had to say it first. I don't want to say anything first.
I love the energy beat between the two of you. You can see that the strength that you guys have for one another. That's an awesome thing, and I commend that, because myself right now, I'm like, we have this series, as we mentioned before, called Dating Sucks, and we've been talking about dating apps and everything else. I went on a first coffee date with someone I met online, and everything went well. We're gonna have a segment with that coming up soon in a couple episodes. And I've noticed, maybe you can give me some advice here as well. After the initial date went well, but it seems that conversation kind of dimmed a little bit. So I'm, just messaging, say, hey, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day. And, like, I don't hear nothing for the day or two. I let it go. I don't really harp on it. But what do you think I should do in this scenario? Should I just keep it cool and keep on messaging as I usually do, or should I just lay back, see if I get a response, and then maybe go from there?
Let's get a couple more data points. When was the last date?
Last was last week Saturday.
Saturday, so 5 days ago?
Yeah.
Ask her out for this weekend. If she delays or doesn't have what you think is absolutely a legitimate excuse, then move on. I mean, you didn't promise her that you wouldn't date anyone else.
That's true.
Yeah, and listen, and then if it's meant to be, or she texts you back, and you're like, now you're the busy one, but it doesn't mean you have to not go out with her. You just can't go out with her, Saturday night, but maybe you can meet for brunch, or watch the Super Bowl, or Tuesday tacos.
All right. Well, I'll try that out, and we're working into our next segment. Mendez, I like this one. I see you, Mendez. All right.
I mean, be cool, but give an offer that if someone says, let's get together, can we get together this weekend, or let's get together this weekend, and they're not responding, they know what you mean. It's a second date, and then if they're not responding, there it is. I think as guys, we're scarred by whatever happened to us between ages 15 and 23, and there's a lot of hope there. You make a lot of excuses for the person who's not calling you back, and for the one in 60 times where that person does take 8 days to call you or whatever. Wow. I think that's baked into our DNA. It's not. Don't listen to those voices. Listen to your voice that would tell your best friend what to do, because he knows what's up. And trust your instincts. Maybe you'll be wrong, but you're going to be right 80% of the time. And that is super Hall of Fame numbers.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Sure.
You hear that, best man?
That hit home. I like that answer. That hit home.
What other problems can I solve for the world?
Hey.
So before we let you guys go, tell us a little bit about your podcast. Tell us how we can reach you, where people can meet you, hear more about you, Mr. Levin.
All right. So I'm on a host of wrestling podcasts every now and then. So for those people who love wrestling, I am actually on the SmackDown review show of Wrestling Soup. And I also do something called Body Slam Briefs for Wrestling Soup, which are in fact brief. They're anywhere from 7 to 30 minutes, and they're probably every 2 or 3 weeks. And it's when Law and Wrestling does the collar and elbow and center ring. So
goodness.
stuff like that. That's all under the Wrestling Soup banner. My podcasts I've got 3 of them under the Garden of Doom banner. One is Garden of Doom. We're doing a rebrand to Garden of Thought because it really is. It's not as scary and a trivial show. So Garden of Doom is everything I'm curious about. So a lot of comparative mythology, a lot of archaeohistory, anthropology, pop culture. Did deep dives into shows like Lost, Battlestar Galactica, the reboot, Babylon 5. Cover things like Lovecraft. I've had a lot of horror writers on and spies and all sorts of things. And I like several of my guests have done the great courses on the great courses. So we also do history, and I try to weave in legend and lore with that through the guest. I mean, the whole point of the show is things I'm curious about, but I don't want to research anything. So I get a guest to tell me about it, and that counts as a show. Garden Views is its companion show. And so if Garden of Doom is sort of like the History Channel, like Primetime, Garden Views is like more of a typical magazine show. It's going to be legal, business, science, tech, realpolitik, and there's some entertainment in there as well, but it's like entertainment law. It's like we'll talk to a ghostwriter or entertainment lawyers, people about copyrights and stuff of that nature. And then finally, there's GOD presents the Book of Black, which is sometimes the Gospel of Thomas. That's where me and one of my 2 co-hosts, sometimes both, PJ Black, who is a professional wrestler for 26 years. WWE folks probably remember him as Justin Gabriel from the Nexus and the Core. You do? And then my other is Mr. Thomas. He's currently with Major League Wrestling. He's been in Chikara. He tagged with Max Smashmaster in Devastation Incorporated, or not Devastation Incorporated, Devastation. He's currently in the Bumaye Fight Club. So one or both of us, we talk to people in wrestling, generally about non-wrestling stuff. And some of our guests have included Tyrus, EC3, Aaron Stevens, who probably people know as Damian Sandow, Jimmy Jacobs, Famous B from Lucha Underground, and lots more. Yeah. So then we try to do like two shows a month, and actually a bunch of Canadian wrestlers. And actually Garden of Doom, I've had PJ Black on Garden of Doom. I've had Vincent from The Righteous, on. He was in Impact at the time. He's with Ring of Honor AEW now. And Keegan Dmitrievich, who's an independent wrestler trained by Seth Rollins and Josh Alexander. So anybody knows wrestling, those are big names. And he's a Canadian. He's there in Windsor. But he's also a master's student in Indigenous literature. So we talked about some Canadian issues, but Canadians, legend, lore, and really smart guy. And the last wrestler we had on Book of Black was another Canadian wrestler, Jeremy Prophet, who's out of I think Ontario. I think he's like out of the Hamilton area. He's won 60 titles in Canada, and so Canada is well represented on the Garden shows.
Yes, for sure.
Bacon, I know you're ready to do it. I'll let you do it if you want to.
Oh man,
get ready.
I'm an aspiring wrestling podcast. I've been wanting to try it for a lot of years, and my partner here, I've been with this gentleman here doing the podcast for about 9 months or so far right now, and one of my aspirations is to, because I've been a wrestling fan since I was like 2. My grandmother used to be friends with Billy Red Lyons, the commentators back in the day, and I met like Gorilla Monsoon, Hulk Hogan. She's taken to so many shows. So just hearing some of the names that you mentioned off now, and that you're into that, I am definitely following you and maybe get some tips and learn a lot more through like podcasts and everything else, like how I can maybe do that someday. Like,
well, my own wrestling podcasts have never done well, which is why I don't do them. But I guess fairly frequently on Pro Wrestling Times, the Drew Yari show, and basically whoever. I go into spaces, for
Awesome.
some folks as well. But I'm sort of known as an AEW hater, so like I have a lot of trolls that follow me around also. So it's it's one of those things.
Yeah, WWE all the way. AEW, not so much.
Yeah,
I watch it.
But I'm an NWA and MLW super fan. I'm pushing for both of them, both for personal reasons, but also I do want there to be successful alternatives. It's just the AEW sucks, and there's no excuse for sucking. I mean, you have all the money in the world, and you got a TV contract like year one. I mean, stop.
Yeah,
be good. See, see. When you do your wrestling podcast, I'll come on and guest. I'm a professional wrestling podcaster guest, except for the SmackDown show on Soup.
That's awesome. I'll remember that. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Wow, what a show! I love that.
But I've been on Humming Media Group and Channel Attitude. They work together. So I've been on Vince Russo's channel. I never met him. I mean, but I know Ben Hameen and and a lot of those guys. Big Ray Hernandez. I actually spoke to Big Ray yesterday. So his dad was a pro wrestler, passed away a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So thing about pro wrestling is that everybody knows somebody in pro wrestling or close enough. It's like I don't know any pro football players. I don't know any Major League Baseball players. So pro wrestling is sort of relatable, even though it's completely unrelatable to to the skill set.
I'm looking to get tickets for Elimination Chamber. It's coming March 1st to Toronto.
Absolutely. I saw someone today post, Canada needs a PLE. We never get any. And the first response was, you just had Survivor Series and you're getting Elimination Chamber in a month. What is wrong with you?
Oh, I wish I saw that. I wish I saw that. I would have so commented. Canada has, like you said, Canada has a big representation of Canadian wrestlers, and
God bless wrestling fans. We are the dumbest fan base in the world. And notice I said we.
Yeah.
Don't everyone come at me. I said we. I'm including myself in that.
Gotta love us. That's it.
Well, your grandma definitely loved you.
Oh yeah.
So with that being said, we've come to the end of the show. Before we go, though, we're gonna give Viv and Jeff a moment. If there's anything else you want to say.
Yeah, your channel. She's doing stuff too.
But I am doing like videos on TikTok about the tips for the feng shui. Just it was like the Chinese snake boot new year, and I talking every day like some tips. For example, what colors they supposed to be wearing in the clothes, what direction they have to be if they want to do some business, what places for the love. But I was watching a video when I was talking about the love, the place for the love. It's having more views, and people is more interesting about love and business. And then made me thinking about doing more videos about love.
Well, they're on TikTok. Tell them where to find
TikTok, you. Laia Pandora, you can find me, or Valentina. And I am doing in another social page too, like review some products for the beauty stuff.
What was the tip I gave you for the videos?
The tip for the videos? Jeff say, be so sexy. This time blast what you are wearing. No. More often. I said maybe in the feng shui that Chinese people, or maybe the people watching that, maybe they doesn't like.
I said be generous with the cleavage.
Years ago I made a video from the town where I was born, and I wearing one blouse so open. And then one woman say, it's too much view what we are looking of you, like for you are talking about. And then I answered this woman, And then I say, you don't want watching me, please don't enter in my page, And then she was to start praying, And then I say nothing else. But Jeff say, first things first, like be sexy. Because men watching like women sexy, you know.
Good point, Jeff. Make sure you send me those links so I can put them on in the chat.
Oh, I don't have TikTok. I've never. I don't have TikTok. I don't know how to look at things at Pandora, but it's Valentina. But so I can't even send the links because mine don't work. So I mean, she shows me all the videos. I mean, they're all. Oh, look, Sofia Vergara comes up. That's weird. These things are little spies.
Uh-huh. It's funny.
Viviana, ¿me podrías mandar los enlaces así?
It's like, here is.
It's at Pandora 694, and it's
there you go.
This face.
Right. And
there you go.
Instagram, so because Facebook and Instagram, they are charging me money. It's not funny. Only I post a regular photos, no like in TikTok, but they send text messages and say this is the money for like subscription.
Wow,
too sexy.
Wow.
And they lock my photos because I don't want pay for that. It's not a joke. I told Frank, Frank is my son, sorry. I told Jeff, they are charge me when they are this Mark Zuckerberg make videos alive. They tag me too. They don't tag Jeff.
Every content creator knows about that when they have a Patreon or when they get super chats. That whatever platform you're on takes it, and then in 2 years their cut's going to be higher.
Yeah, and and because they want money.
Well, yeah. they've had all these multi-billion-dollar businesses that never made any money, so they've got to start.
They got to catch up somewhere.
Yeah, they've got to justify those multi-billion-dollar valuations that Silicon Valley banks keep giving them before all the Silicon Valley banks keep going under with their fake cryptocurrency money.
True enough. So, Mr. Bacon, do you have any final words for tonight?
Yes, I do. Life is good. A lot of questions answered for me, and very, very happy with the episode here tonight. It gives a wider spectrum to say yes, to be yourself and to love yourself and to represent yourself is what you provide, is what you will receive. Always stay true to yourself and always know that you're number one. So that person who comes into your life, they can become number one with you, and you stand side by side and be proud. Be proud of yourself, never second guess, and love will be looking for you when you're seeing that you're not looking for it. MC Bacon salute, you know what it is. Have a great night. Hey, enough said.
Jeff and Viviana, any last words? Oiga, mire.
Thank you for having us on. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, good luck in your dating endeavors and good luck in your wrestling. Because what the world needs is another wrestling podcast.
Yes. Thank you, Jeff.
But in the end, I want to thank Viviana and Jeff for being here with us tonight. Make sure you follow both of them. Check out their channels. Check out the love. Subscribe. Don't forget to give that little campanita a nice little hit so they can get the, that algorithm to say hello and give you guys more of what they do and where they are. But for me, the last thing I have to say is, you know what? Some days you got to stop being chicken. Some days you have to put that yellow tail between your legs and throw it away. And just go for it. We'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. Only, what is this, week 2? What am I doing? see.